Alright, welcome back to the Cryptic Kabal Monday, Season 2, Session 34. We finally return to the Journey to New Lands Part 2. The year being 65,008, the month of the Chaos being June, and the day being the 18th. Last time we had left off, the party had been attacked by a couple of warships, some mana wars from the territories of Og Brightwing that were on their return voyage. As the two ships managed to appear on the horizon, catching the entirety of the crew of the Red Lady in a surprise. Thankfully, the single blade already down beneath the waves. The party having no contact with Calypso, but managing to get themselves ready as the ship suddenly managed to catch up on them, beginning to unload their spell cannons. Though quite quickly, the party would find themselves overwhelming the enemy with them splitting up, May going aboard the Wing's brightness and turning invisible, confusing the enemy to shoot them into each other, and then heading above deck to begin devouring the crew as a large Hydra, there we go. As the creature, or as May would begin to do this, grappling the caster captain of the ship and managing to finish them off. At the same time as Floorsnap and Wara would begin working away at the King's, make sure I've got the King's Mercy. As Wara would be shot over, though unfortunately finding himself knocked down and knocked unconscious, even almost killed quite quickly, Floorsnap would help to knock the captain of the ship knock him off before he could manage to get a final blow onto poor Wara. While unconscious, Wara would end up meeting a strange and mysterious individual, claiming it to be this supposed Paylor figure that would probably get us copyrighted by Hasbro, given their desperation right now. Although being confirmed it was not Paylor, as Hasbro, please don't sue us. Though Wara would accept the deal at a second chance, reawakening and finding themselves raging and in weapons in hand. Between them and Floorsnap, they would begin clearing the upper deck of the King's Mercy, trying to get the last of the few members or few sailors taken down. Azurus bringing the ship alongside the King's Mercy and managing as well to get the ship grappled on and his crew boarding, though to the unfortunate Captain Azurus' own decisions, with the spell Warp Wood causing the door to the captain's quarters that he'd try to break into to warp and get stuck in the door frame, irritating him as it did as he'd shoot bolts of lightning down for effect, but not as an actual spell. As the party comes back, the sounds of the water rumbling, the distant sounds of storms, and what looks to be the beginning of a great gust of wind beginning to form as water is starting to circle and beginning to tower into the sky slightly, the sights of a hurricane beginning to form in the distance, and great shadows beneath the waves. Suddenly, Azurus, as you finished your turn, standing at the captain's quarters of the enemy ship, your crew beginning to do battle and beginning to take hold of the ship the best they can, you suddenly feel... What?
If I remember correctly, all of the frost giants were put to sleep, right?
No. Yes, they were. Because that was... Wara was going through and jumping on one of them after another, yes. But, as I was saying... Azurus, as the ship, or as you kind of stand in front of the captain's quarter, the door still locked, still in initiative, finally your connection with Calypso comes back to you as you sense a panic of something coming. Calypso seemingly being chased as she begins to make her way straight to beneath your ship, and the sounds of Wave Color ship beginning to rise from the depths. or is that not wave color, wave scale, sorry.
Yeah, weird.
As you suddenly feel the connection on next turn, Calypso will act at the end of your turn, Azurus, as we round out at the end of your turn. Coming back as we return to the initiative order, round 4 of the initiative, and Captain Gnug, although dead, having been defeated and devoured by May, the wing's brightness begins to drift again, once more, as the ship begins to slowly move away with May still on it. Let me find my notes on drifting. It's been a moment. There we go.
That
Cool.
one is sinking, correct?
Yes, but May does not currently know that, as I rewatched the video last time, and May's exact words, to be clear, was, I don't know the ship is sinking, nor that the Krakens are coming, so I'm going to finish off all of the people on the ship.
Sure.
So, just going off, that was what they had mentioned when I had asked, because we were going to round out combat originally at that otherwise. But as the ship begins to drift slightly to the south, it seems to sink a little bit more, almost a whole deck going beneath the waves, as you hear beneath you, May, the sounds of the cannoneers beginning to panic, as well as scream as the continued fight and confusion goes on down below, as they still haven't succeeded their save.
They don't.
What was
Ever recover from the insanity? It's permanent.
Is it permanent for the prismatic spray? Okay.
Oh, yes, it is.
I didn't know that. That's good to know. But with it, well, to be fair, I couldn't pass the DC for your caster or for your will save anyway. So, as the crew continues fighting down below, the sounds of the attacking, you hear the ship beginning to crack. In May, you feel the ship suddenly beginning to get lower, and it's clear as you look over the sides that the water's getting closer as you watch on. But that ends the enemy crew's turn on the Wings of Brightness as they continue to fight and to survive out of the confusion, and with you still invisible. Those on the top deck will be jumping off the ship, though. Those that are not confused and are going to begin doing this, so which would be only... oh, God, that sucks. Only 20 of them are going to drop into the water. Or begin to jump.
Provoke comp attacks?
What's your range attack on the Hydra? I forget.
I have 10-foot reach.
Yes, 2 of them would, by technicality, because 2 of them would be either side of you. Yeah.
Okay, now I have to pull up my character sheet. Fun fact, I can attack both of them, because Hydras are fucking ridiculous.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Saturday had to deal with a nest of them. They are a fun monster to mess with when it comes to attack of opportunities. However, you only get one, because I think it's you only get one single attack of opportunity per turn. So you only get to attack one of the creatures. However, you just get all 5 attacks.
Hydra have a physical racial ability to attack with each one of their one of their heads gets an off attack.
No, it's it's what it is when you use an attack of opportunity, you get to use all of your heads as part of that attack. So if you have 5 heads, you get to use all 5 of them in that attack. Normal creatures do not get that. That's what it is for Hydra. Yeah, I only know that because Saturday had to deal with these creatures. So, yeah, much less scary, but still not fun when you get hit with 5 heads. Or 10.
It's scary. I believe that's a scarier interpretation than what I was going with.
Well, you're guaranteed to kill one person is basically the thing. Yeah. But it does also mean you can't spread out your damage a little bit, so some more creatures get a chance to run away. So yeah, you'll get the 1 attack. 13 to hit. Well, they are flat-footed because they can't see you. So remember that.
I do get +2 because I'm invisible, because because ridiculous D&D stuff.
However, unfortunately, that does not hit as you bite on, tearing a chunk of his leather armor off, and as you spit it and toss it to the ground, the creature completely unknowing of you being there as he jumps overboard.
Yeah.
A few more, or the rest of the crew begins to jump overboard after watching their captain just get destroyed by some invisible figure and seem to climb off the ship trying to escape as they dive into the water, which unfortunately means that there's going to be plenty of fodder for the Krakens to eat. As the King's Mercy crew are going to roll. Give me a second. And you watch Azuris, Wara, and I've actually got to. Sorry, I have to roll for their fortitude save to see if they can wake up for Wara's roar. Wara, remind me, is it on their turn they get it? Is it at the beginning? Is it at the beginning they get the save or at the end? For your roar when you put people to sleep?
They don't get a save. It's amount of turns that they're asleep that I rolled for.
Oh, that's right.
And if I remember correctly, it was 7, and this is turn 4. And I did it on turn 2.
You did. Nope, yep, okay. Want to make sure. All right.
That means they have 5 turns at the start of my turn.
And no, it was 6, actually. I have it here, 2 out of 6. Okay. Gotcha.
Fine. It's 4 left at the start of my turn.
Yeah, I got you. Alright, perfect. I wanted to make sure I had that right, because I had a note here said 2 out of 6. I didn't know what that meant, and because that's not how many crew were left, so I was wondering about that. Okay. Perfect. As they end their turn, still asleep. For those that are... and then Wave Scales is going to come up above the water line with his crew as they get themselves ready. They appear on the other side of the ship that May is on, about 200 or so, 200 feet from the main ship right now. So keep that in mind as he will end his turn. And unfortunately...
Do I have Mage Hand?
Well, that's a good question for yourself. I need to roll in as we roll into the top of the initiative. Give me a moment.
No, I do not have Mage Hand. Lucky them.
Alright. As the thrum of the water begins to shake, and begins making more noise, almost as if the sounds of a whale is seemingly calling out. The water begins to darken beneath you all, and the storms begin to set. The skies with their darkening, the lightning coming down, and the rumble of thunder as a large tentacled creature begins to pull its massive tentacle onto the ship. Now the question is, which ship? 1, 2... Zurus, you have the worst luck in the world, don't you?
Is it on the ship we're currently on?
No, it's your ship, the Red Lady.
Well, at least we're right next to the Red Lady. It's boarding the current ship we're on.
Yeah, that's one thing.
So
however,
hey, the Kraken's close.
The Kraken is going to grapple onto the Red Lady as you watch a gargantuan tentacle come up the side and smash down onto the center of the ship. It can't refuse, but I'm going to roll for a nat 1 just in case.
Ladies and gentlemen, we could melee the Kraken!
As the ship is immediately grabbed hold of by the large Kraken, the sounds of cracking down below begin to sound, and it is going to make a constricting motion. Or no, actually, sorry, it would have moved, so that will end its turn as its large tentacle begins to take hold. The sounds of wood splintering and the cracking down below as the crew begins to panic.
Well, I think all of the trolls are currently on board this ship. And
Yep,
I know it's
the King's
Vic
Mercy.
and the Thrycreen are
Down below. Yep.
on the Red Lady still. So, hey, Vic, keep preparing that ship. Don't let it get crushed.
Once you know Vicaret has an escape, if this looks bad, that they will be using it and fucking off with their children. So you will watch as your captain dies. Because you also have a cook down there named Karask. Alright. As the Kraken
drunk.
As the Kraken ends his turn, Gazelle is up of the Crying Lass Pirates. He is going to sing this. Begin to activate his ship's item, and watch as wings spout out of the side and it flies up 20 feet.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
As he smiles down the water dripping from below, the large draconic-like wings made of solid wood, almost looking as if similar, as they creak out of the side of the ship, similar to the way Floorsnap had managed to make the other ship turn into a frog. This ship almost seems to come to life as it begins to flutter out of the water, a tentacle seemingly trying to grasp at it as it as the ship retreats into the air and the tentacle retreats to the depths. Alright, and that will end their turn as they can't do anything else while that is activated, and that's their movement. The King's Mercy, Captain Fagir, is going to roll a save to see if he goes below.
Lest he be dragged down to Davy Jones' locker.
You watch as the captain over the side of the ship that was kind of like trying to climb up the side of the King's Mercy with their without any weapons, and the one who had knocked down Wara suddenly, almost immediately, disappears in the ocean water down below, vanishing. Almost as if something seemed to pull him. Not a single word was motioned or mentioned as the creature vanished, or as the captain disappeared.
Huh, that's you know what? Honestly, because I think in the last session we didn't even know where he was.
Yep, he was in the water down on the side of the ship.
Yeah. Just without a word, just
gone. All right. As that ends,
straight up Obra Dinn moment right now.
As he ends his turn, the King's Mercy ship is going to... Well, it can't drift with your ship, unfortunately, attached to it. And due to the wind, it can't... Oh, no, actually, the wind makes it so it can't drift because... Okay, cool. So as the wind kind of begins to pick up, the ship kind of seems to stay in place, rocking side to side, and with the Kraken seemingly holding the other ship, or the Red Lady in place, the hooks seem to do nothing but create a loud sound of wood grinding on metal. As the grapples hold the best they can, the ropes that have been tied together seem to kind of weigh under the heavy movement of the sea. But as that ends the King's Mercy and their captain's turn, Floorsnap, as you stand still on the board the King's Mercy, having been pelting the ship originally with nothing but bones and other debris, what would you like to do?
I look at the Kraken, and I kind of stroke the long wizardly beard and call out to it in Abyssal. I think I know who you're afraid of.
The creature does not respond.
Yep. And then I'm gonna try to bull rush it and then attack it with telekinesis. So.
Okay.
Bull rush first, and then I'll whack it.
Don't attack the Kraken, please! I beg you.
Too late.
It's already begun. Alright, let me double check something again, because it's been a little bit.
You can fly, right? Is that, you can fly, right?
Do you have improved, bull rush by chance?
Yeah, but I'm also 100 some odd feet away.
This creature is, gargantuan, for your own knowledge. So it is...
100 reach.
Let me check what the creature's reach is normally.
It's 20 tops.
60 feet with tentacles. And that is for normal. So this creature being a lot larger.
Gotcha.
Alright, but Bull Rush, so you have that, that's fine. I'm just double checking. Alright, so, depender, you just add each +4 for the bonus size. You are larger, and a -4 for each size category. You are smaller with medium. Okay. Defender gets +4 if they have more than 2 legs, so, yeah, which is stable, so 4, and then Gargantuan, god, how many scales is that? That's large, huge... Gargantuan? Yeah, so it's 3, so...
Yeah.
Because you're medium, right?
Large.
Okay, so you're large, so it's only +8, so that's 8, 12, alright, cool. So +12, and then any other bonuses, let me double check. Because I don't want you getting this fucking thing too easily again.
If it has improved,
No, I know.
There's feet that. Yeah, okay.
I'm just double checking. I don't have anything else. Nope, sadly. Alright, so it's just the +12. And is it strength?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll save you some time. I rolled a 1, so it wins, probably.
I was gonna say, yeah, let's find out. What is its strength mod? Oh god. Been a while since I had due to the modifiers. 30. Okay. +24. Well, I was gonna say I don't think I can lose, but you know, there's a 27. Wow. And
It's only got a 20. I think you're missing some modifiers because you've got its base attack bonus, I think.
oh, with
Yeah, it's strength.
oh, my bad. Yeah, you're good. No, so that would be on top of that plus another 20. So that'd be sorry, 47. My apologies.
Yeah, no,
I didn't see your calc.
Yep.
Uh,
So
Alright, as you try to slam the telekinesis into the massive darkened tentacle and nothing seemingly managing to push the creature as the tentacle holds strong.
Yep. And then I'll just start hurling bones and flotsam and all of that fun bullshit at it.
Jesus. 9 telekinetic attacks a turn. God damn. Let's see. That.
Oh, there's a nat 1 and a nat 20 in there.
Yeah. Give me a second to pull up ACs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those hit. And I don't know what your modifier is a +17. Those two, yeah, do crit confirm, so you do get double damage.
Okay.
Or whatever your crit is on that. I think it is double, because in this case, since it doesn't have a specified rule otherwise.
Yeah, and it's just like the generic.
Damn. See what you got. As you start slamming into the kaiju with anything and everything that's debris-like. Got exclamation mark. Whoo! Alright. Let's see. So, as for each of those... Yep, that's the problem. So, my question, how many of these damage die per attack?
Oh, it's 96.
9? Okay. Alright, well that makes my life much harder. Thank you. The good news is...
Can do this instead.
You don't... Oh god, it's fucking... Okay.
There you go. And then...
Oh, fuck. That makes life much easier, thank you, because I do have DR here. Wait, what's the 18d6?
That's the crit.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Hit 5 times, crit once.
Got you. Alright, 37's okay. So it's... Give me a second to do my numbers here. 39 points of damage plus 44. Okay. Oh. Alright. As you slam into the creature, throwing a bunch of rocks and pretty much anything you can get a hold of, barrels, bones, anything that seems to be on the side of the ship, debris flying towards it. The creature screeches out as barrels and seemingly chunks of wood seem to slam and poke into it, bits of its blood seeming starting to spray about, but the creature's tentacle holds strong. Alright. Is that it? Is anything else, Floor Snap?
Nope, that's my turn.
Alright. As you kind of look down, the storm kind of coming overhead and getting heavier, the lightning flashing in the background, the thunder beginning to roar. Alright, May, on the wings of brightness, as you watch the crew of 20 of the crew starting to abandon ship, jumping off the side, seeing the ship is lower and closer to the water, feeling it's even starting to go under at this point as the ship seems to sway in an awkward and hefty way. What would you like to do?
Seeing my home vessel being wrecked, I'm gonna fly over there and start nomming on the tentacle.
Do you have? You're gonna cast fly on yourself?
I have a constant 40-foot fly speed that is not physical.
From
As an Eladrin.
As an Eladrin, really?
Yeah, as a fire Eladrin, I have 40-foot fly speed. I know because I spent points on it, and then I looked up and it's not based on having wings, so.
Interesting. Fair enough.
So I'm gonna fly over there, and if I have enough movement to get over to the ship and attack the Kraken, I'm gonna attack the Kraken.
Yep. It is going. It's almost 200 feet worth of distance from you, 150 feet of distance from you to the Red Lady, being your guys' ship. You said how much?
So, I moved 90 feet towards the Red Lady.
Okay. So that'll give you. Make sure I can do math.
That's 2 move actions, which is my full turn.
All right, that'll leave you 60 feet away from the Red Lady in the middle of the sky. As you look down, give me just a spot check as a free action here.
All right, I do have sea invisibility up.
Perfect.
Because I cast it before I went over there, so.
Okay.
Spot is just my wisdom modifier, so this isn't gonna go well.
I mean, it's free action. It's okay. Okay. As you look down below, the big glowing eyes of this gargantuan squid, massive scars across its body, clearly seen underneath the deep waves, as it seems to glimmer slightly. What looks to be bits of this blue rock, kind of seemingly like veins across its large bulbous head. The creature seems to almost have this strange glow to it that illuminates it. As it looks on, you can see the creature seemingly almost staring up at you as it's what looks to be a few feet beneath the waves. All right. As May ends their turn over the ocean, Wara, conscious once more, a strange itching on your neck, a deal already signed, you standing over a couple of corpses of frost giants that you've managed to cut down. What would you like to do?
Question about the resurrection.
Yes.
Does that, you said when I came back I was full health.
Correct.
Does it also mean that the fatigue from my previous rage is gone?
No, it is not. It is just your health. Your wounds were sealed. Is all that he did to bring you when he brought you back. It seems.
Well, I figured because of resurrection, it said somewhere in the resurrection.
It does. Did not say he cast resurrection though on you.
Yes, you did.
No, I said you were resurrected. I did not say that he cast resurrection on you. I'm very careful with my word choice, trust me. But what were you wanting to do? Huh?
So I'm alone on the ship with unconscious.
No, as you look around, you can see the crew of the Red Lady kind of having boarded alongside you, or while you were unconscious. Captain Azura standing over by the ship's captain's quarters. A large lock that seems to kind of be sitting on it, and a door that seems to be jammed as he seems to be cursing the door, messing with it. The rest of the crew going around slowly cutting throats and shoving bodies to the side, or securing those that they can.
Alright. Captain, what are your orders for me?
Capture the unconscious, tie them up, make sure they can't move when they awaken. If we want to sail this baby out of here, we're going to need men.
Okay. I'll start tying people up.
Alright, give me 2 use rope checks. And do you have rope in your inventory? I assume you do, but just in case.
If not, there's probably rope somewhere around the ship's deck.
Yeah, there is. I just wanted to clarify in case he's using his own rope.
No, I do not have my own rope, and I would never use my own rope. These people are beneath that.
Hell, I mean, to be fair,
Alright.
the nautical rope around this ship is probably better than any rope you'd have.
Yeah, I would say, quick look around. You'd be able to find some rope. So yeah, go ahead and give me a use rope check for it. 23.
That's 20.
Nice. Yeah, easily binding a couple of one of the giants. Give me another one as well in the background if you wouldn't mind.
And the way I tie them is I tie their hands behind their back, and then I tie their neck to their feet. Behind the back.
Hog tying. Yeah. Oh no, hog
So that way
tying's
if they
just
try to move
the
their
feet and
they'll
legs.
trip themselves.
Yeah, got you. Okay, or feet and hands. Okay.
21.
As you watch Awara begin to test the flexibility of the frost giants, a few of them, their bodies seem to strain in awkward ways, but Awara manages to tie both of them up, kind of getting them stuck as he gets himself ready, beginning to head over to another. Alright. As Awara begins to tie up the enemy one after another, we jump down to the other Kraken. The second one is going to immediately go ahead and see which ship it's going to go after.
If I see another 3, I'm going to be so sad. Okay.
Good news! It's the ship you're currently on, Captain.
That works! They're both right next to me. They'll both be able to hear what I have to say.
The creature seems to come over in a smaller looking tentacle of almost about 60 or so feet, seems to come up with its greenish tint to the skin, grab hold of the side of the thing, and begin to grapple the ship. I am just going to roll for the sake of the grapple to see if they roll a lower number. Or a 1. Okay, nope. As they are going to take hold and begin to kind of crack and constrict on the ship. However, as they end their turn, having moved over to the ship, the creature ends its turn before it constricts. Alright. Azuris and Azuris' ship, the Red Lady. Well, good news, you don't have to roll for where she's going to move right now, because she can't, so...
Yeah.
No drifting, but you're up.
Alright.
As you stand in front of the captain's quarters, the door still warped from your spell earlier, still stuck as you tried to wiggle and mess with it last time. Your crew behind you kind of working the ship, Wara beginning to tie the men up. What would you like to do?
Gotcha. And so there's the big Kraken's is grappling my ship, and the smaller Kraken is grappling the ship I'm currently on.
Yes, correct. The King's Mercy you're currently standing on.
King's Mercy.
Yep.
Alright. Are you guys ready for a pretty sick speech I've put a bit of time into?
Let's see what we got.
Alright, so since Azores has perfect flight, he doesn't have to worry about the wind blowing him around.
Correct.
So I'm going to fly up, hope maybe about 10 feet into the air.
Okay.
Trying to get myself positioned between the two ships,
Okay.
so that I may have an equal distance between both of these kraken.
Okay. About take you another like 10 feet of movement, or 20 feet of movement. So yeah, roughly. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be right. And I am going to make the following speech in Aquan. I know krakens can't understand Common, but I think saying it in Aquan is gonna really send the point home. All right. Mighty denizens of the abyss, hear me. I stand before you not as a fragile mortal clinging to driftwood hope, but as a steward of the ocean's breath. A man whose pulse beats with the tides, and whose soul is woven with the very currents that cradle your dominion. I know you were summoned, bound by the treacherous incantations of Utham's navy, wielders of cold ambition and colder hearts. They seek to use you as pawns, mere beasts in their war games, blind to the truth of your power, your sovereignty. But you are not mindless leviathans to be shackled by the petty will of land dwellers, wrapped in ice and arrogance. You are the ancient heart beneath the waves, the whispers in the deep, the storm-given flesh. Look upon me not as an enemy, but as an emissary of the sea. My crew and I are not conquerors of the ocean, we are its kin. Every breath we draw tastes of salt and brine. Every heartbeat echoes the crash of waves against the shore. The giants would enslave you. I would honor you. They would chain you to their warships. I would see you rule the deep, unfettered and revered. Why spill your sacred ichor for those who will discard you once their icy thrones are secure? Fight for yourselves, for the freedom of the ocean, for the wild, untamed majesty of the sea. Join me, and together we will drown their ambitions beneath a tide of rebellion. The ocean belongs to none but itself, and we, its true children, will ensure it remains that way. Choose sovereignty over servitude. Choose rage over restraint. Choose the song of the free sea over the silence of chains. Stand with me, and let the frost giants learn that even their coldest magic cannot freeze the heart of the ocean.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Alright.
As the also, I have a thunderstorm and ocean music playing, like ambiance playing in the background. Some of the good pauses because you matched up with the thunder really well.
Oh, that's nice.
Uh-huh.
Alright.
Lara looks up to Captain Azurus as he's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what he says when he rages?
23.
23. You just all hear, let's say, Floor Snap and Wara, if you don't speak Aquan, you just hear the sounds of the ocean seemingly coming from Azurus as he seems to make it sound like a tidal wave is roaring aloud, coming towards you. The sounds of rain dropping heavily, and a strange sound of ice cracking beneath the waves. As the speech goes on, you see as the creature's tentacles seem to give a sense of reaction, tensing slightly, but almost as if recognizing a true threat that you are and what you're claiming to be. The creatures seem to tighten their grip on the ships as they slightly crack and start to pull under the weight of the creatures. Congratulations, Zurus. You have been recognized as a threat to the dominion of the ocean.
A threat?
You're about to go and prove yourself, Azurus, as you stand flying over there, saying this speech, taking your time to speak this. The creatures seem to respond in fear. Alright, Azurus, as that's with your speech, so that'll be your main action, because that would take, I imagine, the full 6 seconds.
Yeah.
As well as the flight
that
up.
was not what I wanted.
Calypso is up. They seem to be directly underneath the Krakens, about 100 feet. And the creature seems to see what looks to be, and I believe you can share senses with your... Is that 3.5?
This we are in 3.5.
Or 5th edition, my apologies. I'm looking up something at the same
I
time.
believe emotions are conveyed.
I think you're right as well. I just want to double check. Yeah, Druid can handle her animals a fraction and pushes action. Druid can't. Nope. Why is it? Evasion, devotion, multi attack. Okay. Druid's I'm just checking in her. Yeah, it looks like it's just emotional link. It does not specify can. Saying. Yeah. Okay. All right. As you kind of with taking over as Calypso, or with Calypso right afterwards, you can sense a sense of panic and fear coming from her. A sense that there's something far more dangerous beneath the depths than what you are seeing, Azurus. And as you kind of begin to, or as she begins to notice this, with 100 feet beneath the water, the ocean is dark. What would you like to do?
Well, with my action done and me have already moved, I believe that's it.
No, for Calypso specifically.
Oh, for Calypso.
Now she's back, yes. 100 feet beneath the waves. What looks to be, as she looks around, nothing but open ocean. She, looking up, can see two Krakens grappling onto your ships, and a third that looks to be kind of hiding down below. Although, as it looks on, she realizes there looks to be almost 100 small Krakens, about another 100 feet beneath her.
I may be the emissary of the sea, but I think Calypso's going to be my emissary to the emissary. Because I can't do any damage to these fuckers. Well, I could, but it's going to mean nothing.
Could have Calypso try and charge him.
Yeah, alright. I'd love to send my wonderful pet straight to death. Alright.
Kind of, yeah.
And you said the Kraken, the large one, is gigantic, right?
Yes, the largest of them is gigantic. There is a huge one, or gargantuan is the size category. There is a huge one as well that is also grappling the ship, and then a large.
You know what? Let me look something up real quick. Because they're squids, or are they more octopus?
These are Kraken.
Technically a separate species.
Yeah, if you want the exact thing, because squids are listed, I think, as having 4 tentacles, octopus are 8, Krakens are listed as having 6. So they're like an older species of squid, basically. Why? What you? What's your question, or what are you looking up?
I was trying to think of anatomy.
They're similar to squids. They have 2 longer tentacles and then a bunch of smaller ones. They're very similar to squids. They're just not really squid.
But, yeah, I'm trying to think of like their gills, where they breathe from. Because I think squids have a pretty decently sized opening.
Yeah, so it's considered the Kraken is based on the giant squid, because the original concept of the Kraken is going off of the Scandinavian folklore. So
Gotcha.
because the way they depict it specifically has having a barbed like tentacles as well as a beak like mouth, it gives a bit more squid like in my mentality.
Yeah,
Because octopi I don't think have beaks.
So the squids are like for squids their
I'm
their
seeing
gills are
All right.
Yeah.
What would you like to do, Calypso? Or for Calypso?
They actually have the
I-
hardest to attack gill of
Yeah.
any
Thank you.
sea creature because they have to breathe partially through their fucking skin.
So you see that crevice in between like the main body and the actual like the top where like a lot of like the water can get into.
Mm-hmm.
So I want Calypso to go inside this kraken and start eating,
Uh-huh.
ripping up their insides.
Calypso's a giant squid, right?
Calypso is a regular sized squid. I think well like medium sized.
Let's say I don't think. Let me see.
Calypso is
An
nothing
actual
special, but
squid.
just
Okay.
a squid.
Okay, so they are
Because,
medium. Okay, so they will
my-
fit. That works.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I want Calypso to start going in and fucking up their internals.
Yeah, as Calypso will swim up, they will go ahead, let me see. Swim inside? I feel like that's going to be an attack of opportunity to try and climb in something like that. You know what? Here, I'll tell you what. Give me a hide check for Calypso,
Yeah,
which in this
allow me
case
to
would be no
quickly pull
just a
up-
d20.
Yeah, let me get Calypso sheet up real quick. I've neglected to do that because I've never had to use Calypso sheet before. Let's see, because I made one.
Oh yeah, the fucking kraken is grappling. It can't take off attacks.
Give me a second. Cause I'm pretty sure I have a feat that gives me the ability.
I hope not.
With the special attack hits. Unless otherwise noted, prepare works against. Oh no, that's it is based on the attack. No, that's a fair point. You're right. Yeah, I see no reason. Let me see something real quick. No, nope, I do not need a D&D sheet. I need a picture for myself to see what I'm looking at here. Alright, yeah, I can't see a way of arguing my way out of this one. Okay. As Calypso will try and flutter into the creature's gills, I will let you know the creature is not going to have, or is clearly not going to be easily designed for something to swim inside of it, being this large. They'd have to have a natural defense, otherwise they'd get them eaten by many a things. But as Calypso swims in, yeah, the creature can't do anything against it. Let me double check something, because I'm not familiar enough with a giant squid gill. That does not give me a good picture. Let me see if I can find one. I didn't expect we'd be doing like a gill climb through today. Guys, do squids even have gills? What the fuck?
They do.
Yeah, they have gills. Coltec actually sent me a picture of like a normal like squid anatomy.
Well, I'm looking at it. That's what I'm trying to find what you're talking about, because I don't see anything that says gills. I just see fin. Yeah,
So,
I see that same thing.
they have gills, but their gills are they have.
Find me a link. Don't explain it to me. It'll be much easier for both of us, because I'm going to make you go to look up the link anyways.
You have to get through the collar that's protecting the mantle, get in the mantle, empty cavity space, then attack the cavity gills.
Where does it say that? That's what I'm trying to find.
On the picture I just posted.
In Monster Monday.
Well, it doesn't say gill. Oh, there. Oh, okay. I see the gill part. Okay. The fuck is that? Oh, okay. It's the... I got you. Okay, so that's where you're going into. Okay, I see what you're talking about. Trying to swim into a funnel. Oh. Alright. Yeah. I see no issues with that. As the creature, as Calypso goes swimming into the funnel of the gargantuan kraken, without an opportunity attack, the creature kind of flutters into it, seeing the large gills and the creature's kind of inner, I guess, cone, if you will. The kraken begins to freak out. All right. That is the movement of the creature. Well, what's your? Oh no, that would take both of your movement, because that'd be 60 and 100. Okay, no worries. All right, as that ends Calypso's turn, the larger kraken is going to go ahead and continue its waiting as it needs to, watching as things go on. The Wings of Brightness crew, the ship is going to continue to sink. I'm going to roll something in the background. Okay. As the ship begins to crack in half, and the sounds of the crew beginning to jump off the side of the ship as they scream and try to rush, that will end the ship's turn. Alright, as the crew of the King's Mercy have now 3 out of 6. Till they are woken, half of them already currently, subdued of the 57 remaining. That would mean... Okay. Alright, and the crew of the Wings Brightness will continue its abandoning ship. Wave Scales is going to go ahead and begin his casting in the background, which means I need to use magic device.
He's got magic shit? That's awesome.
Well, he does now.
What did he loot?
Not something he can use, as the wand in his hand sputters to a stop as he looks on with annoyance. I'll give him one more chance at it.
Come on, buddy, you
Nope.
got this. Oh, shit.
Need to roll higher than a 15. So, alright, as Wave Scales will end his turn trying to get the wand that he had to stop the ship from sinking, as he watches on at the top of the initiative. The gargantuan kraken is going to immediately, with the creature inside of its head, going to cast Dominate Monster on the Calypso.
I believe Calypso's not a monster, but a beast.
Let me see. You can choose.
Dominate Monster doesn't care. It hits humanoids,
sorry.
monsters, and beasts.
I also did misspeak. It is Dominate Animals, actually, the spell. My apologies, because it's the level 3 animal druid spell. You can I'm just saying what it counts as. All right.
I don't know if it works on animal companions or not. It might.
It does. Because it's still an animal. It's not a summon in this situation. This is a wild beast you can, like, pick up and let go into the wild.
Line of sight.
It is inside of the squid. If it can't tell, if you're telling me you can't tell where a cord has been shoved up your ass, then you know what? I have some friends that would find you very popular and you can make a lot of money. But... as I'm going to rule that if something is shoved inside of you, you're going to probably be able to notice where it's swimming around. I still think that makes sense. I need a will save from...
I beg to differ on that concept.
I don't think it matters.
Do you want to... would you like to explain how you've had things shoved inside you and you didn't feel them? Because I've had enough things inside me to tell you I felt all of them.
My brother has been pregnant for many years with parasites. He only feels them when they violently move. When they are slightly moving, he does not feel anything.
You mean like something? You mean like something rushing into the side of your head and swimming around near your gills would not be considered a bit of violent movement? I'm pretty sure.
The point I'm trying to make here is not every part of your internals has feeling receptors.
I would agree with that on if you're talking like inside the tentacles of the creature, or even on the skin of it, because it'd be a lot tougher given the callousness of it. Mm-hmm. But I would say you're near the squid's head, and this is going to be this would be a sensitive area where the water is going to be very much something that this creature has to deal with.
The Kraken literally just feels like it inhaled a bit of food. Like,
Yeah.
that is what it is feeling right now, is that same sensation of, like, it was eating a ravioli and a bit of ravioli went into its lung.
Well, I beg to differ on the idea that normally krakens aren't depicted as having creatures inside of their skulls, or inside their heads like that. So I, again, think this would very much a noticeable, no matter what situation. So if you wouldn't mind giving me a will save, please.
Absolutely.
For Calypso. However, unless they have spell resistance, which I don't think anything you have gives them that.
Yeah, no, they have a... They don't have a lot. Well, that is a 9 will save.
That does fail. The DC 18.
I would imagine.
And you're as Calypso is given the order to flee. The creature will now be forced to obey the command on its next turn, and basically will go on at the end of its turn. Oh wait, does it get another save? No, it's just a 1 save. Oh, that's horrible. Oh man, that's yeah.
It gets another save
If it changes the instructions.
If it changes the instructions, if it goes completely counter to the creature's desired will, which I don't think this does, and at the end of the day, or at the start of the day. I don't remember if it's the start or the end.
See
it's
the
one
day
of those.
thing. But that's fair. As the creature is given the order, Calypso beginning to panic and feel the fear inside it. The gargantuan kraken is then going to, as it's not moving, going to begin to constrict on the red lady. Which... I'm just double checking what the damage... it deals automatic armor and tentacle damage. Okay, so it just gets an automatic to it. So 2d8 plus 12. Alright, the only thing is I can't crit now, so at least you don't have to worry about that, but the red lady will take 12 magical bludgeoning damage as the ship is beginning to be constricted. The sounds of the cracking coming down from below as the kraken kind of continues to try and pull this ship under. The sounds beneath the deck of Vicaret yelling at the creature to stop trying to bite and smacking at the hull of it, and clearly heard from above. Alright, as the Kraken ends its turn, the ship in the air is going to do its payload drop, as they are going to open up the bottom of the ship. As you watch the base of the ship, the wood begins to almost pull back, folding as barrels of what looks to be this bluish and green liquid begin to spill over the edges of the ship. No, you are not on the flying ship. The flying ship is the other pirate ship that was assisting you guys. As the flying ship begins to begins to drop these down into the water near where the Krakens are, that will end their turn. As that will take their their wood shaping spell, as well as the action of moving the barrels off. With the King's Mercy still unconscious, and the ship unable to drift, there's no, it does not have its action. Floor Snap, as you are up. How many barrels do you have? 25 in total.
Well,
excellent. How much do they
send
weigh?
them to God.
Each one would be a single ton, which I don't remember my liquid. No, not ton as in weight, but ton as in barrel size.
Oh, okay. I was like,
No,
way
yeah.
over what I think.
Yeah, no. Let me see real quick. Because there is approximates. I don't remember what a ton though was off the top of my head. I just have it listed as that. It is 1,000 liters.
Oh, yeah.
Liters to OBS.
Heavier than a ton.
Yeah, no. Convert. That would be 2,204 pounds per barrel, and that's not counting the barrel itself.
Yeah, that's extremely out of my range.
Okay.
I mean, I
For
could
now.
bull rush it into it, which would be funny.
I can tell you that as you kind of looking over the side, it looks like these barrels are kind of floating around the area where these krakens are somewhat. Their bodies seem to be, or at least the biggest shadows seem to be.
Okay. I think I'll do something else that's mildly upsetting. I'm gonna do an attack to send debris directly above the kraken.
Mm-hmm.
And then arrest it and let it fall. A good 200 feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
Oh,
reminded me that falling objects do damage,
yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
and with it being grappled, it can't really move out of the way of them.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. All right. Wait. So what are you grabbing again here? I'm just making a note for this.
I'm just grabbing like detritus, the same stuff I've been like using on it, and
Oh,
just like
okay.
throwing it like 200 feet up directly above it, and then using like the other telekinetic thrust to like stop it from like keeping going on, so it'll just like immediately fall instead of like keeping on like shooting off into the stratosphere.
Ah, got you. Okay, and you're playing tennis with yourself and then aiming the final ball towards the krakens. Okay, and well, the kraken tentacle. Why do you always have to do things that don't have a normal damage type?
Oh no, it's bludgeoning.
Not what I mean. Like a calculation.
Oh no, it does. Remember?
Oh, do
Falling
you have
objects.
your? Okay, you have your calc? No, I do not remember because I don't usually throw falling objects at people.
Well, you see, I'm throwing 9 objects that weigh at least 200 pounds, about 200 feet above the kraken.
Okay,
It's a d6 per 10 feet falling when you're above 200 pounds.
let me see. Is it?
That's what?
20 d6 per item.
Perfect. Oh my god.
Yeah, it is because you can only max out to 20d6. You're not wrong.
You did it to our ship, now I'm doing it back.
Alright, yeah, no, that's fair. Okay. I will say, you're not just gonna be peppering this tentacle, man. You're gonna be peppering the side of your ship, but just keep that in mind. But yeah, no. Alright.
It's like a large enough creature.
It's gargantuan, you ain't wrong. Shit, yeah, go ahead. Can you? Oh, god damn it. Thank you.
It is 635
It is,
damage.
okay. I want to make sure. What was that, Lucia?
Oh,
He only did 635 damage.
Well, not necessarily. I've got DR for a reason. Now it's not much, but it's something. Okay, so I gotta do a goddamn bunch of math. Give me a minute. Okay.
It's a good thing Calypso got chased away.
Well, not yet. Calypso's still in there until their action begins.
Oh shit.
yeah. I don't think the DR is reducing to 0, so I think you can just multiply it by 9.
Please don't try and confuse me when I'm trying to do math. That's just gonna make my life much worse. Alright. That is... Oh, come on. Man's always got a... Let's see. Yeah, that is... That? Okay. I'm taking away your max fucking damage. I swear to God, if I have to break out a calculator every time. Let's see. That's that. God damn it. Okay, you're an asshole.
Hey, you're the one that reminded me that falling objects can do damage.
Yeah. No, don't worry. I'm about to get you back for this. Don't worry. That's... Oh my god. As you watch as the Kraken's tentacle basically severs from the amount of debris flying towards it, pieces of wood and chunks of metal slicing into it as the creature screams out as it does in anger and hatred. The creature seemingly in immense pain as the first of its tentacles sever. All right, fair play. Just remember, turnabout is just as fair. Alright, Floor Snap, is there anything else you'd like to do? As the creature kind of, now having lost its tentacles, stuck on the side of your ship, now completely submerged.
Yeah, just take like a small 5-foot step back.
Okay.
So that's both actions to set it up.
All right. As you end your turn, May, 60 feet from the Red Lady and kind of above the air and in the middle of the ocean, what would you like to do?
Is the Red Lady still grappled?
Technically, right now, no, she is not.
Oh.
I mean, the tentacle was severed, so yeah.
Gosh.
The ship that's attached right next to it, though, of the King's Mercy, is still grappled by a smaller kraken.
Is it closer to me or further away?
They are equidistant because they are currently stuck to each other as Azurus had his crew tying it off.
Okay. I'm gonna charge the smaller kraken, I guess, because like. Yeah, I'm gonna charge the smaller kraken, which means I only get 1 bite attack.
All right. As you go flying through the air at a quick pace, rushing towards the Kraken's tentacle that you can see, heading over towards the King's Mercy at top pace. Let's see what you got for your attack.
Cromp.
30. Nice. That's a nat 20 to hit. That does hit. That also confirms because you beat its AC, so nice. All right, so you can double up your damage. What would you like to, or what are you striking with?
It's a bite attack.
Okay. Just flying by and tearing a chunk out of it with your mouth.
And I'll just do 2d10 plus 8. It's better that way. 17 bite.
17. Okay. As the creature kind of seems to reel at it, the chunk of the piece of flesh kind of coming off, tasting like, almost immediately like a fresh thing of calamari. As you tear away, the blood squeeching out, the creature's callous skin being quite tough, the creature below the ocean screeching as it does in anger. All right. As you tear a chunk out of it, is there any, I assume no swift actions?
No swift action, sadly.
Okay. Wara, as you stand on the ship, seeing May having just come down, tearing a chunk out of the kraken that is grappling the ship.
I'll see the fucking meat come off. I'm invisible.
That is true. I forgot about that. With them being invisible, seeing the chunk of meat vanish from the creature in a roar from below the ocean, what would you like to do, Wara, as you tie up or finish tying one of the members?
How many of the frost giants that are considered enemy that are asleep are still on the ship?
That aren't tied?
Correct.
28.
And how many of the trolls from Azurus' crew are also helping me tie them up?
15 are the remaining trolls.
Correct.
How many of them are helping me tie them up?
Assumedly all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the order they were given. Yeah, that was the order they were given, was to either kill or take prisoner.
Okay, so I'm gonna
if you
leave
want, you can start attacking with us if you wish.
That's what I'm trying to figure out the math for. So they've got this in the next turn, because there's still 3 turns left, or 2 turns left for them to be asleep. So they got this. And on the ship that we're at, the huge kraken has a tentacle on it, correct?
Yes.
Because the gargantuan kraken's tentacle was on the other ship.
Yes, the tentacle's still there. It's just no longer grappling the ship.
Okay. How far away am I from the tentacle?
I'd say about 15 feet at this point, with kind of tying up one of the crew members.
And a potion of enlarged person. How long does that last?
Depends on the potion.
Let me find my potion real quick.
DM gave it to me.
I did. It is, yes, correct. 1 minute. Thank you. I want to make sure because I had to double check the spell since I did not have it up in front of me.
All right. That'd be 10 turns.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to use one of my 2 actions to drink the enlarged person potion.
Okay.
Which makes me go from medium to large. And that raises my strength by 2.
As you drink it, your body begins to grow and increase in size. The muscles becoming kind of slightly bigger and a bit more veins protruding as you look like you've grown, almost become slightly jacked.
I believe
and my
equipment
reach
also grows with you, right?
Correct.
Yes. And my reach increases by 5 feet.
Correct, because you go up a size category, yeah.
Yeah, so also remember because you use a weapon, right? Or do you use just your claws?
I use a weapon and my claws, depending on what I'm doing.
Gotcha. So now remember that your weapon is also going to be going up a size category.
Oh, that's going to change its damage. It'll become a 2d8. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that means all I need to do is take a 5-foot step forward.
Yep.
And take a single swing of my longsword.
Yep.
Alright, here we go. So that's gonna be, oh boy.
Get him with your strong hand.
Oh,
Hello,
God.
Cat.
Let's see what you got, Wara. 15 to hit. Nat 1 does not.
Yeah.
All right.
Reroll that.
Yep, to confirm. Oh, you're good.
Right.
As you go to swipe at the creature, enlarge, kind of feeling the clumsiness of the body as you kind of lean too far forward, and the claw seems to have awkwardly bounce off the callous skin of the creature as you lose your momentum going forward. All right. Do you want to make a second attack since you took your just a 5-foot step, which is part of your main act? Oh no, because you drank a potion. Because I think.
Yeah.
This potion. Oh no, I usually don't run that for Saturday, so I think that's fair. As far as it goes, I'll let you still have your action for it.
All right.
Let's see if you want to make a second attack. 22.
22.
That just hits. Let's see what you got.
So it's a 2d6, not a 2d8.
Mm-hmm.
But that's gonna be. Also in that one.
Damn. And that's for damage. Oof. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
damage.
see. 10 damage as you slam into the creature, clawing at it. Seeing the small, thin cuts on this massive tentacle, it bleeds a little bit, but just as quickly it seems the wound begins to slightly scab over and slows its bleeding. The creature seemingly unfazed as you tear at it the best you can. All right. So does that end your turn, Wara? I'll take that as a yes. Okay.
Oh, music. Yes, that is all I can do.
No worries. The huge kraken, having the ship grappled, is going to go ahead and, after hearing its companion screech, it's going to begin its casting. I need a fortitude save, and does anyone have a spell resistance by chance?
Not moi.
Okay.
I have a spell resistance of 12, but I don't know if I'm in the range of whatever's
You are, as the sky begins to rain down black tulips.
You said a what? Fortitude save?
Yes. Let me remind myself what my roll for this is.
What's my constitution for
Okay,
this
so it's
creature?
18.
20,
Ooh.
so plus
Plus 9.
Oh. And
Does 18 overcome your SR?
3, 9.
I assume?
Yeah, it does.
Perfect.
I
Is the
tie.
other Kraken also in the range of this, considering I'm locked in melee with it?
This is the huge kraken. This is the one that you bit.
Oh, okay.
The gargantuan one is underwater right now, so it cannot, and it is at the top of the order.
Cast defensively?
Huh?
Did it cast defensively?
What do you mean?
I'm in op attack range.
Let me see. Does this count as an opportunity attack? Doesn't say it doesn't. Let me double check something. Because I don't remember if Krakens get anything specifically for casting. No, that's will saves. That's trip initiative. No, yeah, that would be an attack of opportunity. No, that's yeah. You're right.
And I get to attack with all of my heads. So,
Yep, all 5.
So it's R 7d. It's 7 heads. I'm a 7-headed Hydra, by the way.
Gotcha.
7d 20 plus 10. Blip. Oh.
I feel that pain. Well, if she hits,
Anyway.
I think it is concentration, right?
Here's all of my op attacks.
Flat-footed?
And I get a +2, which I keep forgetting about. So it's 15 is the lowest.
No,
and
I'm
then
looking.
6.
I'm looking.
Okay.
Yeah, 24 and 27 hit. The rest do not.
Ah, all right. And this is the damage.
And let me see. Okay. Yeah, it's concentration. I figured. All right, 19. Yep, I was gonna say. So it's 10. So 29 to succeed on the for the concentration check for the creature. I'm gonna be honest. I can't fail. But I will roll for the nat 1 because yeah. Yeah, there you go. As the creature takes the damage, but it manages to keep the blow or the spell going. Yes, everyone, give me your fortitude saves, please.
Alrighty. Well, I got a little bit more damage on it.
You did. 23. You succeed. So you
18.
will not be nauseous. 18. You match the DC, so that is barely a success. Azurus?
Mine was 24.
24.
One moment, please. I
Yep.
have to look at something.
That is a success for Azurus. What?
And where is it?
I don't know. But the nausea one specifically is something you're gonna want to make sure you try and save forfeit or May. So. Otherwise, well, May figures that whatever they're doing for damage, the rest of you will take. Well, actually, quick note. Who's evil?
Not it.
I am.
Okay, so Zerus will take 26 points.
Even after saving?
Yes, the save is against the nausea, not, which means you do not get the, unable to attack, cast spells, concentration on spells, perform any task requiring concentration, or take any other actions.
Damn, so there's no save just for being evil. That's crazy.
Nope, you still take the damage, despite the DM might think. Alright, so, for those who aren't evil, you will take half.
Rip, so how much was it? 20 what?
26 points of evil damage. For those who aren't, you will take half, which will be 13 points.
26.
26, you do succeed. So thankfully, you're not nauseous. Is May evil?
Yeah, Yeah, she is.
Alright, May will take 26 points of damage as the tulips begin to rain down in a blackened coloration. A slightly altered version of the spell as you see bits of red emblems marked on some of these black tulips that seem to flutter amongst them as the creature ends its turn. And Azuris, you are up.
Question.
Yes.
When slimes enter water, they dissipate, right?
Correct. It's kind of one of the few advantages to dealing with combating slimes is to drown them.
Yeah, I was
Well-
thinking about summoning a gelatinous cube inside one of the.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Let me clarify. Not all oozes will do that. Just most of them, because there will be some oozes you could theoretically run into that may be made of a specific material. But generically, yeah, oozes will dissipate in water.
Yeah, because I didn't know if a summoned gelatinous cube would
Yes.
or not. Because yeah, I figured it would.
Yeah, because it's still if it's the spell I'm thinking it is the same one that Cinder likes to use a lot. It is literally you summon an actual gelatinous cube to come to your aid, and then the creature is fully independent from there, which means it's its own creature.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it
that's
dies
exactly
after 2 hits to a fucking Hydra. I hated that creature. Goddamn gelatinous cubes. But yeah.
Well, guess I'm not using that one. All right.
Oh, out of curiosity, was that a death effect? The black tulips?
We.
It doesn't matter.
You'll
because
have to
it's fine,
ask in the
but-
future next time, ahead of time, but it was evocation good.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Alright, go ahead, Azuris, though.
All right. I would like a fortitude save from the gargantuan kraken.
Alright, do you have to have sightlines on that? It is currently underwater and beneath the ship, so...
This spell is specifically for casting underwater.
Okay.
Pressure sphere.
Let me see. Give me a second. Oh, that's that's the 5th edition spell, not the fucking... Yep. Give me a sec. Oh, no. Can you send me a link to the spell? Because I don't...
Absolutely, I certainly can. It's one of the spells I get for being a Blackwater Druid. If I could...
I found it. The spell suddenly causes the water to turn. Spell can be constrained by the available water. It has no effect on creature. This one must be sent. Yeah, as long as you can see the water, yes, you can use it. Never mind. Okay, cool. I wanted to make sure because that would be very specific. Yeah. No, I see it. Specifically, it just has to be a sightline on the water where the general creature is. So that's what he's looking for. Yep. All right. Yep. You're good. Okay. Yeah. Fortitude save. What's my fortitude? Oh, you're gonna hate me.
Well, I know you're not. You're probably gonna beat it. Yeah, like you beat it, but it's fortitude is you just take half damage.
Oh, okay. Hey, damage is damage.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, this is probably one of the higher damaging spells that I can cast, especially since you're in the water.
Gotcha.
I get to use it.
Yeah, no. Wait, let's see what you got.
Alright, so instead of 4d6, 2d6.
Show me what you got.
Yep, my other compatriots doing a ton of damage where I'm trying to figure out sneaky ways to do better things. Alright, let's see. 7.
7? That's it?
7.
7 points of damage?
Yeah, I can't do a lot of damage like my compatriots can.
Alright. As the water below begins to kind of condense, the creature seemingly noticing of the damage as it begins to kind of seemingly bother it. A little bit of the pressure seemingly pushing a chunk of its skin in and denting it and restricting it around. The creature seems to continue as it was. Azuris, you haven't moved. Is there anything else you'd like to do as you stand like about 20 feet in the air above in the middle of the two ships? It does bypass DR, and you're not wrong. Oh, that was on me. I didn't call for it. I forgot this creature has spell resistance, but I'll let it slide because I forgot to mention that, so that's fine.
Fair enough. Now, I'm trying to think of what I could freaking do. This thing, I'm not strong enough. I'm but a small little druid boy.
I will note, Calypso is sensing more and more of these creatures down below. You can give me why don't you give me a knowledge nature real quick in the background as a free roll?
Certainly.
Maybe I'll help guide you.
A billion kraken, you can't escape. But all right. Let's see here. Where's my knowledge nature? That will be a 24.
So just to your own knowledge, especially with your attachment to Calypso, squids, typically, the way when they hunt in schools, if you didn't know. Well, they hunt independently and then travel in schools, rather, let me clarify. Kind of keeping that in mind as you think about this. These are probably the larger and dominant of the pod, the like matriarch, patriarch, whatever it could be in this case.
Mm-hmm.
As you think about it, there's probably, if they're this big, there's got to be a lot, at least multiple more down below.
Alright, that's definitely strange because I know giant squids and colossal squids are almost exclusively solo hunters.
They are. Actually, all squids are solo hunters, but they are not...
giant and colossal ones are also solo travelers.
They travel in pods. It has been noted, squids do travel in pods. It is, if they have, family and such. We had to look this up because I was curious about this.
Yes, because I know small ones do, but I remember the giant ones don't.
The reason the giant ones usually don't, at least from what I could find, it was more just due to the fact of how few there are, and it seems that they are very territorial for food. So, squid will also turn on each other in their own pods. It's something also kind of interesting if you didn't know. As soon as they sense weakness, they will eat each other.
Gotcha.
So, but keeping that in mind, if where you see one or two, if they're this close to the surface, they're also probably thinking that these boats are predators of some sort or a threat to their territory. So keep that in mind overall.
Mm-hmm. Also, can I sense where they got called from, like the spell, or is it like it's a thing it's gone off and I can't destroy whatever was bringing them here?
From what you know with the knowledge nature, there's no spell capable of commanding a kraken. There are only spells that are able to call a kraken. So these creatures, most likely, as you think about, were probably sent into a frenzy and came here thinking there was either food or something trying to invade or take their territory, a threat of sorts. As you kind of think for a second, these creatures have to be from the major depths. The gargantuan squid this size doesn't feed up in the surface waters.
I mean, that makes sense. So, just sounds like we're fucked.
In short, that's a kind way to put it. Because
Mm-hmm.
as you think,
I'm very upset that my speech to get the Krakens to fight with me have taken that as a threat.
Challenge.
Yeah, with me saying, fight with me against these oppressors as a threat. Good to know. Well, we can't run. So, I guess I'm just gonna have to keep fighting and hope that my death is quick. Because that's all there literally is to do.
As Zurus looks on, kind of thinking and watching, realizing that there are more Kraken to come, seeing his compatriots fighting to the best of their ability, watching the other ships sink in the distance. Wave scales his ship about 200 feet off to the side, completely standing alone by itself, unbothered.
This giant squid is, of course, grappling on. Is it still grappled? Because I know it's
the huge Kraken is grappled onto the Man-O-War. The gargantuan one is no longer grappling it. Its tentacle is just stuck on board of the ship because Floor Snap kind of nailed it there.
Yeah. Okay. Shit. And the flying ship had already, and Floor Snap took care of the falling barrels, right? Or was that not what he did?
No, he wasn't attack. No, the flying ship dropping the barrels, that was their own separate thing. They're dropping barrels into the water. Floor Snap was just grabbing debris from the side of the ship and tossing it at the creature.
Gotcha. Okay, so the barrels, what do they look like, if you don't mind? Are they...
From this distance, you can see a greenish and blue liquid draining out of them. These are ton barrels, so they are too big for Floor Snap's telekinesis to mess with. They're about 2,200 pounds, roughly, from Azurus' own basic knowledge. From what you guys can roughly see, they look to be kind of draining into the water slowly. And there's a good few of these barrels just kind of bobbing around in the water lightly right now. You can give me... what was your knowledge nature check again?
It was 24.
24. I'd say with that, yeah, you'd recognize this. This seems to be a heightened version of Alchemist's fire.
Interesting.
Putting 2 to 2 together, your guesstimation is these guys are about to try and light the top of the water on fire to scare the Krakens deeper below. Which, for those, as with that nature check, for also something I should note, because I didn't think about this until just now, do you know squids get frightened by, like, bright lights, big bright lights? So if the creature looks big enough and it's bright enough, they think it's something dangerous, like any predator.
Yeah. Then let me, what are the special things with this? Is this touch or range? How far am I away from the gigantic squid?
The huge one that you can see its tentacle being torn chunks out of by an invisible force right now?
Yes.
Let's see, 20 feet in the air, 10, and about 15 feet to the right, so that would put you about 40 feet from the tip of the tentacle.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. I'm gonna fly over to that one. Actually, no, because I did pressure. How far am I away from any bit of the
Gargantuan?
Gargantuan squid? Yes, I keep saying gigantic.
It's under the water currently. There's none of its body is above the water. So you're looking at how tall is your ship? I forget.
We never really got into that type of dimensional size. All I know is that it is a catch, but it is a catch for giants. I think I know rough.
So,
it shows length.
I always said like 30 feet above water.
Yeah, I don't know.
So 80 feet in height would have to be the minimum, yeah, because I think your ship's only 2-decker, right?
I believe so, yeah.
It's top and then the below. Yeah, okay, so then, yeah, 80 feet in height in total. Well, not counting the captain's, like, quarter tower. That would be technically 100 feet in total, but yeah.
Gotcha. Alright, cool. So let's see, 20...
These are big ships.
15, 25. So I'm definitely more than 40 feet away from the gargantuan kraken.
If you're 45 feet from the huge tentacle of one kraken currently grappling the King's Mercy, you are roughly 80 plus another 20 feet, so 100 feet above the water surface. The kraken's another 30 feet below that, so 130 feet from the gargantuan kraken below. Oh, and a voice crack.
So I'm. You said 45 or 40 feet away from the huge?
45 from the huge.
Damn, I'm 5 feet too far. Because when you cast, you don't get the extra.
Nope, you do not.
That's only for melee, right?
That's only melee attacks, yeah, from my understanding.
Shit, and I cast Pressure Sphere. Alright, I will then move, I think, 20 feet, fly 20 feet in the direction of the huge kraken, and then end my turn.
Okay, still staying in the air? Alright.
Yes, as I cannot be, I am not subject to the effects
gravity
of the ship.
Yeah, as you continue kind of floating in the air about 20 feet off the ship, heading the extra 20 feet over towards the the huge kraken. Alright, Calypso is now driven by fear to escape, so they're just going to swim back to where they started their first turn, the full 120 feet. And end their turn.
Nice.
Alright. That's that. The large krakens are going to roll. How? Okay, I already answered that. All right, perfect.
Is pressure sphere a continuous effect or is it a one-timer?
I believe it is a one-timer. I can double check though. But I'm almost positive it's single.
Yeah, it's single.
Yeah.
Okay. The Krakens are going to begin to swarm towards the surface of the water and begin to attack. As they do, they are going to head over towards where the red lady is as the scent of blood catches their attention and are going to start attacking the red lady. Well, they're going towards the large chunk of meat that's bleeding that's caught their interest.
Yeah. Hey, maybe they'll start consuming the,
Oh, you're about to watch your ship get pulled.
Oh, shit.
As they're going to swarm and all begin to try and grapple each other. So we're just going to save me the time. Plus that. You watch as your ship is just the red lady starts just rocking back and forth, left and right, as the crew, thankfully not on it, having gone aboard the other ship, watch as the ship kind of shakes about, these small krakens trying to push around each other and grappling onto the ship as much as they can, many of them grabbing the sides of it and pulling on it. The large tentacle, or the gargantuan tentacle, suddenly disappearing beneath the waves as the water beneath the ship is fluttering with activity, the waves seemingly making a bunch of splashing noises as the creatures bite and tear at each other.
The small ones have the same role as the big one?
Yeah.
That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, they just don't get the DRSR that the massive one does, or its spellcasting abilities.
Who wants a big kraken? I'll just have a school of small ones. Fuck that. Alright.
Alright, as we did Calypso, the 10 large end their turn, the Wing of Brightness ship is going to finally, roll one last thing, and falls beneath the waves. As the sheep disappears down below, leaving nothing but a clear sight over towards the single blade and wave scales and his crew. I thought
they were gonna light him on fire on me.
Nope. The King's Mercy crew is one more turn towards awakening. God damn it. It's 2 more turns and they get a chance. And the Wings of Brightness crew is going to begin to do their swimming and beginning to try to get away. And then, lastly, Wave Scales, who is going to once again try twice to use this magic device. Well, I rolled a nat 20 on the first, so that's at least a success for the first time, but he can't cast it a second. And the ship of the Wing's Brightness begins to float up, the ship beginning kind of in an air bubble and seemingly still cracked in half at the base of it, though the ship seems to float above the water quite quickly. As Wave Scales and his crew start celebrating and start tossing what looks to be ropes towards the ship to try and tie it off as the bubble begins to float slightly away at a decent pace. And with the nat 1, he cannot kind of solidify the bubble, so it will continue to float, and his crew will go ahead on the next turn, start tying off. Top of the initiative.
Light that fucker on fire!
The Gargantuan Kraken, as the shouts come from Captain Azurus, the water begins to pick up. Let's see something. Oops, let's pull this. Apologies, I'm just pulling up one thing real quick. Alright. As the creature begins to once again angrily rage out at the water, what is going on above, the Kraken, having lost its tentacle, will begin to retreat into the depths and vanish deep below. angrily marking, or trying to, leaving no mark on the ship, sadly, as the creature vanishes into the depths. The gargantuan kraken is gone. As the next turn goes, the Western Wind pirates are going to go ahead and cast and see if their spell, or if the spell works. Oops, there we go. As the fire as a small bolt of flame goes down below the ground, or the water begins to ignite in this bright blue flame as the krakens and the ocean begin to screech, the sounds of the water and the waves beginning to get more and more vicious as the creatures seem to be in shock at the sudden explosion of fire. The flying ship of the Crying Lass's crew roaring out in excitement as they watch down below. Now let's roll some reflex saves for the Krakens.
I want calamari tonight.
Alright.
I offered my hand to them. They swatted it away.
You're not wrong. However, all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them fail. Ooh, shit. Well, I don't know if I want to... Alright, we'll roll this. Alright. 5.
I'm already eating calamari in
True.
character.
It's better when they're cooked, though. Good lord.
As the fire begins to burn, the Kraken screech out, as they do, the fire igniting even beneath the water as bits of the flame begin to float up towards the surface. Creatures seemingly screeching as they seem to sit there. Alright. That ends the Western Wind and the Crying Lass's crew's turn. The King's Mercy is still stuck. Floor Snap, my man. We return back as you look down below and see nothing but the waters being filled with what smells like burning calamari.
I have a question. Can telekinesis manipulate water current?
No.
No.
Yeah, not.
Because it's the amount of poundage. If you can't move around over 2,000 pounds of normal weight, you're not gonna be able to move a current.
Oh, well, I was thinking like taking a piece of liquid and moving it around in liquid.
He could twirl a finger in a theoretical, like a mage hand in a sense, to try and get the water to spin. If that's what you're asking, yes, but or like a stick.
I could just imagine like a ball of alchemist fire water moving around, smacking all of the remaining Krakens. It was an idea. I don't know exactly all the mechanics of how
Technically, yes. Floor Snap could stir the water with his telekinesis quite easily, because he'd just have to get something to do the stirring.
It would just take a while to get it. It would be like a 5-turn effort to do it. As someone who has, tried to make has successfully made whirlpools in regular swimming pools. It takes dedicated effort.
But Floor Snap.
Did the barrels explode, or are they still technically there? They just catch fire?
They are exploded. That's why the damage.
Gotcha. I was about to fucking depth charge some poor fucking squid.
That'd be horrible.
But hey, at least there's more debris.
Yep. As you watch the sky starting to glow a straight, bluish green color, the smoke kind of picking up from it. The overhead, the thunderstorm still coming, and the waves still choppy as the weather continues. In the distance, the looks of a hurricane seemingly are coming this direction.
I look over the horizon, look back at the squids, and shrug and say, "I told you. I knew what you would fear."
As you say this down, what are you trying to do? Oh God.
I think I'm just gonna eviscerate the kraken that's holding onto the ship that we're holding onto.
Okay, the huge one. All right.
Yeah, because I don't think I can see the other ones on the far side between all the smoke and all the crazy shit going on.
No, there's burning, screeching. The water seems to be moving about and kicking up quite a bit of stir. Plus, most of these creatures are actually underneath the water still and just kind of grabbing onto the ship themselves.
Yeah, I just look down at my poor victim and say, "Well, I'm sorry. The time for bowing is past. But perhaps you make appetizer."
Alright, let's see what you can do against this huge kraken as you say this in turn. Oh, fuck. Alright, yes. One misses.
No natural ones.
No.
Nice.
Yeah, you only have one miss. You do not have to roll this one separate, as the huge kraken doesn't have DR.
Gotcha. Oh, dang it. I probably don't hit with... Oh, wait, no. Do it
With 17, that does hit,
25.
yeah. Yes. You have to roll a 1 or 2 to miss. Yeah.
Got it. Well, this thing is fucked.
Yeah, without DR, the huge kraken's about to hurt.
Yeah, so this is 18 because I missed 1 and then the crit, so...
Technically evens out.
Nope.
God damn it.
I feel it.
Why
No.
did they take away my slash?
Beyond 20's been a problem with it. Yep, there you go. Oh my. As the tentacle immediately severs, barrels and pieces of debris going flying towards it, cutting underneath the creature's tentacle where the suckers have kind of latched onto the ship. It seemingly cutting them off as the barbs get stuck in the bottom of the ship and going all the way through to cut through on the other side. The kraken screeches out as it loses its grapple and loses its tentacle. The ship no longer grappled as you watch the bit of blood almost go exploding out the other end into the water as the creature seems to screech the water, responding with a sudden tremendous roar.
I just look at the other crew and say, I will share, but I want at least a large portion of that. I just nod, I'll satisfied.
Alright, ending your turn. Alright, May, you are up as Floor Snap manages to remove the tentacle of the huge kraken, losing the grapple and really leaving nothing but this chunk of meat on the side behind. What would you like to do?
And that kraken is still within range of my attacks, right?
It is no longer, because the side of its tentacle would have retreated under to the water after getting severed away. So it would be now this man-o-war slightly taller and the water. Well, actually, no, it isn't right now. So you're about 100-ish feet. 80 feet from the water, and then the huge kraken is about 20 feet below. So a total of 100 feet from the kraken.
Hmm. Damn, I really want Kraken Heart.
Up to you if you want to go diving into the water, but it looks like Azurus and the crew are just trying to keep these creatures from getting a hold of the ship and pulling it under.
Yeah, I'll land on the ship.
Okay.
And drop polymorph.
Okay, you are still invisible.
Yeah. And then I'm just gonna prepare an action so that way if another tentacle comes up, I'll do something.
Okay. All right. As you drop your kind set on the ground, so expecting the weight of the Hydra form to cause the ship to rock, but due to the amount of just movement and rocking in the ocean, no one seems to notice as you kind of change back your form, slowly returning as you stand there invisible. All right. Watching over the side of the water for the Kraken to come back, daring it with a lick while you lick your lips, excitingly thinking about Kraken heart stew. All right,
yeah,
Wara.
Kraken heart to the fucking giant heart soup and make a hybrid stew for the.
Yeah, right? Alright, Wara, you're up. What are you thinking you want to do, my man? As you stand on the ship, the Kraken having semi-retreated its long tentacle into the water after it being severed away, mostly be due to the limbs spurting out and shrinking back naturally. No clear enemies above the water surface can be seen as you look about. Is there anything that you'd like to kind of do or say?
How far away is our original ship that we're still tied to?
From where you're standing, about mid-ship, about 30 feet to be on the ship, 25 feet to be right next to it.
Okay, and I'm what? Right at the edge of our ship.
No, you're midship of the King's Mercy, roughly. Kind of standing on the closer toward the tentacle, or the top, or where the top of the tentacle is.
I'm not talking front to back.
I know, side to side. Yeah, you're so. So you're on the opposite side of where the ship is tied off onto the King's Mercy.
Okay, so I'd have to walk to the edge, 25 feet.
Yep, and then another 5 feet to hop onto the other ship. They're tied off to each other right now.
Okay, so they're right next to each other. Okay,
yes, because Azurus at the end of last session called for a boarding party, and the trolls basically threw hooks and ropes and tied everything together. That's why the ships aren't drifting apart right now.
All right, then I'm gonna holler for 2 of the trolls to follow me to the other ship to do an inspection of the hull.
Recognizing you as an authority figure, they'll immediately drop what they're doing and start following you as you rush off. What's your movement speed?
50.
Okay. So if you use both...
Since I'm running, and I'm going to do it 2 turns, that gives me 200 feet of movement.
Running's a full action. Because running is 3 times if you're loaded, or 4 times if you're not. So gives you more speed, technically.
150 feet worth of movement around the edge of the other ship, as far as I can, to see about looking at possible damage.
I don't run that floor step on the straight line thing, because that doesn't make sense to me, because you can run quickly and maneuver yourself if you're an actual competent person. Now, if you're fat and overweight, I'll make an argument, but if you're an actual competent, capable fighter, I feel like there's a discussion to be had there very easily. Running the... So that put you at 200 feet, heading over towards the ship, and you're just trying to get below deck with the trolls. Let me double check trolls.
Well, I'm gonna... The 2 trolls are gonna go below deck to check on everything. I'm gonna go above around the edge on the deck and take a look down around the outside and see if I can see any major damage.
Got you. Okay. Give me a search check as you rush to the sides of the Red Lady.
I do a spot check?
Sure, take spot. 21. Okay. 21, as you rush to the side looking along the edges, it looks like the creature, or there's a bunch of krakens trying to bite onto the ship, much smaller ones than the 2 that tried to grapple it earlier. However, as it looks like they are failing to pierce the ship currently. Though you don't give it much longer before they will, around maybe 2 before these creatures will get a chance to start biting and piercing. But currently, there is no damage to the ship. Well, there's minor damage, but nothing that is letting in water, to be very clear. Because the ship did take, I think, 20 points of damage, Azurus?
I believe so, but we're going to say 20, and I'm going to double check.
Okay, yeah.
Alright, well, I'm going to yell this information to Captain Azurus about there being smaller krakens that will potentially pierce the hulls here shortly.
You see both an annoyed and an exasperated look on Azurus' face, I imagine.
Finger guns.
Yeah. Alright.
I have a big one to worry about right now.
Whereas you shout that out, the crack, or is there anything else you'd like to do? Because you ran. So with your run, that's it. As your turn, my apologies. As you shout this out towards Azurus, him looking on, annoyance, a little bit of annoyance, and also still prioritizing, trying to figure out how to deal with the current situation. The huge kraken is up. Having lost its tentacle, it is also going to retreat to the below. Fully submerging itself and dissipating as it ends its turn, running away.
And there's 1 round of sleep left on the enemy crew, and I'm guessing by now they've all been tied up.
Yes, correct.
I was gonna eat that heart.
May screaming at the shadow, disappearing under the water, calling it a coward, craving like an old man who was hoping for his fight against some youngster who'd been pissing him off. May is furious as they look down over the side of the ship. Alright, Wara, with you running, kind of mentioning this, the huge kraken retreating, Azurus, we jump to you.
All right. Well, the huge kraken ran away. Was gonna cast Desiccate on it, but guess that's not gonna happen anymore.
True.
I guess I will go over to the other side of the ship to hopefully see some young little krakens trying to bite at my ship.
What's your movement?
40 flight.
If you are going over towards Red Lady, you'd move 20 feet over to the left, so you're moving 40. You'd be about center of your ship. Unless
so
you're just trying to go to the in-between crack for where they're connected.
Because,
okay, got you. So that'd just be 20 feet. Okay. Making sure you weren't going to the opposite side like where Wara was.
Yeah,
okay,
I mean, I'm hoping if they are all, like, trying to surround it, that there might be some on this side, too.
As you look down, give me a spot check.
Hey, I think I'm good at these. Let me get back to my sheet. Spot, +6. Alright, here's hoping. Aha, I got a 19, so 19 plus 6, what, 25?
25. Yep, you see as there's about 10 of these large kraken, looking smaller and younger than the others, swarming around the bottom of your ship, tentacles going everywhere as they seem to be like suctioning and trying to grab at. You can see bits of your wood, the wood of the hull beginning to like pull and bend, but so far it looks like there's no holes.
So we are, oh, by the way, we are in a stormy area now, right?
Correct. The weather overhead is a thunderstorm with rumbling thunder and lightning flashing every few seconds.
So last session, I had casted Call Lightning, and I still have quite a bit of things left for Call Lightning.
You do.
So that's what we're gonna do.
Because you threatened to use it on the door.
I did threaten to use on the door, but there's some nice, sweet, succulent calamari to be made.
Seeing May's anger and seeing the potential for meat. Let's see what you got.
And actually, hold on. You know what? I'm just gonna hope that it does damage, because yeah, of course, electricity travels down salty water.
Totally.
Yep. So let's see. I need a reflex save.
Well, they're grappling, so they can't. Technically, it's an auto fail. Yeah, as Floorsnap pointed out earlier. That's kind of the one downside of grappling.
Typically, you don't want to do that.
So, all right, 3d10.
3d10. Yeah, go ahead and roll as you aim for one of the krakens.
21 damage.
As you slam a bolt of lightning down in between the two ships, the electricity seemingly spreading out across the water as the squids and the kraken seem to suddenly stir, almost shaking a moment, as one of them sees a blackened mark and a bit of red beginning to flow out of them. Yeah, that's why he did the storm damage. Yeah, because there's a thundercloud. There are thunderclouds overhead.
Yeah, so because originally Call Lightning is a d6, but when it's outdoors in a stormy area, it becomes 3d10.
Thank you, Krakens, for casting Black Tulip Storm.
Yeah! Alright, since I moved and cast a spell, I believe
that ends your turn as you watch the lightning strike down like an angry Zeus at the Krakens. Alright, Calypso, technically no longer is dominated. Would you like anything for them to do, or are you just going to have them avoid the swarm of large Krakens at the bottom of your ship?
Yeah, I think despite, because the swarming Krakens are medium, right, or large?
No, these are large, yeah.
Gotcha. So Calypso is still a medium squid and not cut out to fighting these guys. So avoiding is probably for the best. Actually, if anything, Calypso can start splotching ink around, I guess, just to try to at least cover themselves.
So kind of moving 160 or 120 feet away as the creature swims away and then creating an ink cloud around it over by the over by the wave scale ship and the single blade. You watch as a few of the crew start to panic, seeing suddenly a dark figure underneath their boat. As they watch the Kraken feeding frenzy going on.
I mean, listen, I hope they're familiar. I mean, I know we're dealing with a bunch of squids, but man, I hope they recognize Calypso.
Yeah, exactly.
Very small
Well,
squid.
you know, well now there's a giant plume of darkness down there that they see. They're not sure what's down there.
Hey, you know, here's hoping they'll be all right. Nonetheless, Calypso's still alive. I'm a happy man.
As Calypso ends their turn, the swarming krakens are going to begin to retreat now that the large matriarch and what is their pod leader is gone. The krakens will begin to let go of the ship and fall back into the water, delving deeper, especially after being electrocuted, as one of them is torn apart on the way, devoured for taking damage from a lightning bolt. Ending their turn. We're going to take a quick commercial break as we come back to the party out of combat. For those who need to feed cats or run to the restroom, we will see you all in, well, a moment for you, a few minutes for us. We are back. It was a moment for you, about 10 minutes for us, as the DM went to grab a quick snack and some water, as well as let the rest of the party do their thing. They decided in the background to plot totally, as one member has decided to take on the High King himself, and later we'll be getting to meet him in the Rumble Dome. I promise you, you will have your time to shine, but today is not that day. As we return back, the Krakens having departed from the waters, the combat, from what you can tell, ended. The ship of the Crying Lass beginning to kind of head back down towards the water, away from the fire and the burning alchemist barrels, to the best of their ability. As the rest of you stand on the ship of the King's Mercy, a massive man-o'-war with 725 HP and 20 spell cannons of firebolt, as well as a massive amount of storage. What would you all like to do?
All right. How much of the crew, first off, of this vessel are currently, here, captured and stuff like that?
In total, you captured 57.
Sick.
Bickerhead is making goddamn sure that at least 2 of the spell cannons are on each of our ships.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, it's going to be incredibly difficult to do that now since the waves are probably choppy to the nines.
That'll be dealt with in a moment. As yes, you are correct. The Krakens did not leave you with peace, as there is a hurricane that should be here in like about a day. As you can see it in the distance, roughly being about 8 hours, not as in the 24 hours. As the thing seems to be moving slowly but getting larger and larger in the distance.
Yep. Let me quickly take a look at the man-o'-war.
Floor Snap starts to drag the tentacle down below to Karask's kitchen to begin working on processing it.
Hey, Captain,
right.
do you want to call Wave Scales over with his ship and see if we can get something together to get going?
Wave Scales is still probably working on the other one. The other ship, yeah.
As you see him over across, he has it floating, and his crew is starting to tie off the floating bubble in the air to their own ship to try and keep it somewhat grounded.
Gotcha. All right. This crew, join or die, essentially. I am ready to make a deal with them if they wish to. And since these guys I'm not actually recruiting in a bar or freeing them like I did with Wave Scale's crew, they essentially get 20 years in service to my vessel. I'm very generous. I'll pay you a silver a day to be paid upon going on shore, if I have the funds, and you won't be killed. Of course, all the stuff that goes in with my pact makings.
Give me a diplomacy check.
I'm gonna add in that I'm gonna eat any of the I'm gonna eat the hearts of any of the giants that reject it.
Yeah, the first one that refuses gets their heart eaten by Mel.
I whisper into the captain's ear, "Can I just grab one, bring him up to you, see what he has to say, and if he says no, I give him to May?"
Seems fair enough.
I'm still in my large form.
24.
Mm-hmm.
So I grab the first guy, bring it to the captain.
I mean, I need at least 40 people to crew this freaking vessel.
I think he's just talking to them in general. So, like, anything that happens is happening in front of all of the crew. All of the captured guys.
Mm-hmm. Like, hey, we took you over. We beat a whole bunch of krakens. You can see the evidence of the tentacles. What's your game plan? Join or die?
Oswara grabs one of them and brings him over first to kind of make an example. After the captain kind of addresses the entirety of the captured crew, making sure they're awoken and made sure they're somewhat living. First one you pull forth kind of looks to be a younger, what you'd imagine probably somewhere in their mid to early 20s, as far as Frost Giant. Very little hair on their face. But a few scars and what looks to be some decent leveled armor on them, as they seem to be wearing some quite decent Firebore leather armor. As the kid kind of is pulled and stood up in front of you, Warwick kind of holding him at his back, the giant looks up at you and spits on at your face and goes, "You lot killed against King Utham. You're not worth a damn," as he says in giant. The rest of the crew seems to echo the same thought.
Warren. Rip out his heart, please.
I hold him up in front of May.
Yeah.
Eat your heart out, bastard.
Yeah, so, but I'm gonna give him enough time to where he thinks he can start a rallying speech. But once he gets about midway through the first sentence, I'm going to hit him with Choke on Cinders as I grow claws and walk up to him. And I'm going to just one finger very slowly drill into his heart with it, like into his chest.
As he kind of looks at you and goes to begin to speak, saying something along the lines in giant of, No frost giant self-respecting would serve, and then immediately as he begins to choke, a reddish coloration around his mouth and lips as ash starts to explode out, like he begins to cough it like blood. What looks to be these little bloody flakes kind of coming out into May's face, just kind of lightly fluttering to the ground as May reaches in and pulls the heart of this creature out. Make me an attack as well. See if you can pierce this creature.
He's defenseless, right?
Yeah, he is technically defenseless.
And I'm just gonna coup de grace him. The auto crit him with
right.
my claw. I don't have. Oh my god, I don't have claws. I instead use my mouth because that's my natural attack.
Ew.
So literally just bite to his chest and rip his heart out with my teeth.
Let's see. All right. Well then, yep. So you still. Let's see. I'm just reading this real quick because I always forget the rules. Coup de grace. Auto hit, score crit. Okay, so yep, you're adjacent. He must make a fortitude save of 10 plus or the damage dealt. Okay. Good enough.
Here we go.
All right, let's see.
This is my Eldritch Chomp, so.
I was gonna say, as you just lean forward, man, this is gonna be horrendous as you just bite into his chest.
Yeah, and it's terrifying, by the way.
All right, fortitude save for that, so it's 10 plus damage dealt, so it's a 33. I can beat that, but I do have to crit. Fucking close. No, oh, man. I got excited there. I saw the 28, and I was ecstatic. As May just leans in and widening their mouth as this horrific sight, their head slightly changing in size, a mixture of this of the Hydra head and their own, seemingly just to wrap around its chest, taking a massive chunk out of the creature, rib cage and all crunching down as they bite into this poor giant, tearing out the bones and cracking through it. The giant screams in pain, or tries to, as nothing but a cough of this reddish ash explodes out from his mouth as May leans back, pulling the kind of few bits of goo that were stuck, or muscle and sinew stuck on the bones, trying to kind of like stick as they pull away. The creature screaming more, and then trying to scream more, and then suddenly its body goes limp as everything seems to let go. May kind of swallowing through. Vic is down below the deck working with Floor Snap on Stem.
May, do you need the rest of the body?
I shake my head as I begin gnawing on the heart.
Captain, toss him overboard?
I have no use for a bag of meat.
I just toss him.
As you kind of walk
Anyone else?
Give me an intimidation check.
My actions can give a bonus, right?
So I'm not doing a bonus. I just lower DC based on actions. Don't worry for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Makes it easier to calculate.
19.
19.
To see if I can give a bonus.
If you want to give the help action, I'll let you roll intimidation with him, and you'll just take half of whatever you roll.
Okay.
May doesn't have to roll, because that's part of the DC for what they just saw. Nice. So, 26. Okay, with that. Combined with what they just basically saw of the most horrific sight these poor frost giants have ever seen. That is one of the more... Well, it's one thing culturally to see a frost giant get devoured by a dragon. It is another to see someone tear the ribcage out of it, crack it open, and then begin to chew on the heart of the creature that you saw as someone of some kind of command. Many of the giants that haven't wet themselves seem to kind of bow their heads and bend the knee quite quickly, not wanting the same fate. The utter fear in their eyes as many of them try to avoid any look at May as they lock their eyes towards the ground.
All right. After they all sign their contracts, binding them.
You can add 56 members of, or 56 Frost Giant crew members with ranks in profession sailor plus 10.
Right.
I will also note, for what you can gather on experience, these are sailors who have, most of them, roughly 100 to 400 years minimum sailing experience.
And this ship was called the...
King's Mercy. Here are the stats. So it's the same for both of the ships, technically. But I'll post it in the chat. So, because Vicarette would be able to easily figure this thing out pretty quickly.
So, 56 Frost Giants, and they all have a plus 10 in sailing?
Profession sailing, correct.
Profession sailing.
Yep. These are all they would all be counted as lesser raiders amongst the Frost Giants, which means basically they're not raiders proper, they're not the ones going on sky ships, but they are capable warriors.
Alright, Can I ask for the a representative of the trolls of the crew? I want who they would choose as their best man.
Give me a charisma check.
All right.
And by now, I would have shrunk back to medium.
Roughly, as you start helping untie some of the crew after they sign off on the contract.
That would be a 16.
16. Okay. Trying to think for a second. Give me a moment to pull up a very important note, because I just remembered something and I found it in my notes for you guys, so... one momento real quick, because I have to look up the houses of the trolls. Because you have a minor noble amongst your ranks.
Oh, sick.
That I made a note of this early on, but of course none of you knowing any troll lore would not have a reason to know anything about this individual. You have a member amongst your group, a troll that looks to be about rather old looking, rather grizzled amongst the crew. Though he pulls his weight almost equal to 20 other trolls, his size being that equal to those amongst the strongest of the crew, he calls himself Trelbeck of Oath Taken. And I will spell that name out for you.
Thank you.
And this is an important individual, however unfortunate. There would be no reason that you'd recognize this name in the slightest.
Absolutely not. Hey, I'm glad he wasn't one of the 5 that perished.
Exactly. Trelbrick kind of steps forward as you look to the trolls and kind of smiles at you and bows slightly and goes, "In my home, I was a man who took on armies by myself." As he kind of strokes his long, well, it's not wizardly white beard, as it's very curly and puffy, but it seems to go down to around his mid-belly button at 13 feet tall. His kind of ugly and gnarled face kind of really showing the signs of the battlefields he's been on as he smiles down at you and looks and goes, "I was there with the original Cryptic Kabal when they fought against the Thrykreen, and I watched the heroes that they were go off leading the vanguard into the jungles so the rest of us could escape."
Oh, hey, that means he's one of the trolls that I helped.
He is. Which is also one of the reasons he's here.
Yeah. All right. Well then, Mr. Trelbeck, I'm gonna need someone to command the Red Lady while I'm working aboard this ship for a while.
Can I kill Toth with it?
If we come across them, I'm almost certain you can.
He holds out his hand, spits in it, and looks at you and goes, "I don't need an oath. You have my word with that, Captain."
All right. We'll be. You know how to. Are you familiar with the course where we're going?
He looks at you and goes, "No, but I can follow you."
You're a fine group of sailors. I'm proud of what you've become.
He smiles and goes, "We owe it to the original Cryptic Kabal, all of us here. We wouldn't be here without him. We'll stand by you until the end."
And I, you, my friend. All right, let's get to work. We've got a tempest a brewing.
As you guys begin to go about your ship and begin calling or getting them to aid, as the crew gather, Wave Scales will start to kind of follow after you lot as close as he can as you start to pilot your way out of the direction of this storm. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna go over to actually where Wave Scales is to see what the situation is with him. But if there were any survivors on his ship, what he's gonna be doing.
Yeah, as the day goes on, as you lot start to kind of get everything going, getting a work organized, Wave Scales will make his way over towards your guys' ship. The ship of the Wings Mercy still floating in the sky, and the West Wind Pirates still kind of sitting there watching you lot from the sky, kind of eerily, not making any contact as they do. But as Wave Scales kind of heads over watching, keeping an eye up his, what looks to be not a kaleidoscope, what are they called? Not telescope,
Periscope?
Periscope, thank you. His periscope out, kind of looking up towards it. As they make their way over, he gets up kind of closer to you as he boards along with a few of his crew members and smiles and goes, "Captain, I have grand news."
All right, let's hear it, my friend.
Well, we gathered up what resources we could amongst the two ships and some gold and valuables, which, I'll be honest, Captain, this was well worth it, well beyond what you thought. Only bad news is, none of the crew of that ship seemed to make it. Those few that started swimming away seem to have sunk, and I think the Kraken's got them.
All right, looks like there's going to be a new reef at the bottom of the ocean soon.
He nods at that and goes, "Aye, but they'll be deep and long before they'll make it there, I imagine. The ship we've got floating, we managed to get off of a wand. Seems to be, they had a wand designed specifically for rescuing and kidnapping your ship if it went under as proof. Smart idea, honestly. I think I might keep this thing just as an emergency."
I think you've well deserved it, Wave Scales.
Smiles and goes, I agree. Mostly because if my ship goes under like that, I'd also like to be able to float up in a bubble.
I'm certain. How about the spell cannons aboard that ship? Were you able to collect any of those?
We lost them when the ship cracked. They went right under. I don't know what caused the damage, but from what I can see, it looks like the cannons fired in the middle deck, kept cracking it, and the cannons fell right through. Seems, there's 10 holes in the damn hull of the ship, so we ain't getting her operational on the water anytime soon.
Alright, well, as you can see as well as I can, we've got a hurricane coming.
Man, in the background, a little red, yeah.
So we're gonna see if we're as salty as we claim and try to outrun this guy, or persevere like we always have. Looks like I still gotta make acquaintance with our allies, I think.
Captain, those ain't allies. That's the West Wind Pirates.
Huh.
They're. Oh, roll. Do you you have profession pirate, right? Or is it just profession?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do have profession pirate.
Give me that. Let's see what you got.
Of course. I'm gonna use my skull dice.
Ooh.
Let's see. Profession pirate plus 6. We are rocking at a solid 16.
16. As you think on it, thinking back to the stories of Blackbone Og, he used to have a member of his crew when he was younger by the name of Giselle the Western Wind, also known as Giselle the Scourge of the West. A term used for as he was a djinn that was able to bring winds capable of blowing entire walls down by himself, a capable caster beyond belief, and one of Og's first elite crew members. Unfortunately, they didn't last very long, though you don't know why. As truth to be told, the story is quite shadowy and in the background. There's not much that was ever admitted, but Og lost his first crew, is how the story goes, and many of them split up. Giselle, setting up his own crew, has been known to mostly hunt in the Rakshasa lands as well as the Closen territory, preferring to, as he is known for it, enjoy the taste of devil and a Rakshasa skin.
So, which makes it really odd that he's over here.
Yes, and helping you. The only thing noted about him is that personality-wise, he is treacherous. His word is about as valuable as you'd expect of a corrupt noble. And he has almost killed Og twice, according to history, for fighting over treasure and valuable goods.
Huh. Let's see how he talks to one of kin. I feel like it'd be rude to not introduce myself.
Yeah, how are you going to get their attention as their ship kind of flutters in the air about 20 feet up and about 100 feet from you?
Well, I can certainly fly and I can shout.
True. Are you just going to fly? Are you going to go over to their ship without your crew and completely be surrounded by their men?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, if I'm going to recommend, as your first crewmates all watch you go up there alone without any defenses, minus Floorsnap, who's down below. Do Wara or May wish to speak up to as you watch your captain go to his most likely kidnapping?
Captain, can you take one of us with you? Just for safety.
I will say, you haven't seen Crump either this entire time.
That is, well...
He's probably dead.
May thinks about excitingly as they realize they haven't seen Crump. Starts picturing how the many ways they can die in this situation.
It would be Victorette who would think that.
Oh,
he
sorry.
doesn't care about Crump.
That's fair.
Actually, cause you said they're about 100 feet away?
Yeah, 100 feet and then 20 feet off the water.
Gotcha. So they're still within shouting distance.
Roughly, but there is a storm going on. Keep that in mind.
That's fair. Well, signal flags are a thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Semaphore.
Yeah, that's what we
And there's
here.
pirate's code.
Well, signal flags.
We have floor snap. arrange debris in the ocean in the shape of a giant penis.
Yeah, exactly. It comes to life. Now the ocean suddenly is horny, and now you should all be fearful for it's going to fuck you.
Well, let's go along lines of. I guess I'll just shout because I can shout loud. Storms are coming.
Wave.
If you wish to talk, please come find us when the sky's clear. We thank you for your assistance this day.
You hear in your head immediately. Actually, let me double check. I don't remember if there's a will save for this. I think there might be. No, there's not a saving throw. You hear in your head a voice speak up in common. Or, well, actually. Is that the, I'm double checking something if I've got a unique language. Oh, alright. Do you speak Orin?
The air elemental language?
Correct.
I believe as a djinn I do, yeah.
You hear in your head in Orin, the words, Captain of Zurus, of the
I'll be back in a second, guys.
No worries. Of the Red Lady, please welcome yourself aboard my ship to split the goods that you have found. And that's the end of it.
This is where having Mage Hand would have come in handy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What is the loot list?
You haven't found anything yet. Your crew has been mostly getting the ship ready to move and get ready for the storm. Wave Scales didn't mention anything either to you.
The ship counts.
The ship counts. Yeah, well, I mean, you got the ship.
Certainly. When the storm clears, there won't be a way to properly split goods when there's a hurricane about.
You hear in your head once more in Orin. If the storm is what you fear, wait a moment. And then as a massive magical surge explodes into the sky, those who can cast, you can give me a spellcraft check.
Sick.
Oh boy.
I can cast.
So this first one's gonna be Vicaret.
Okay. Oh, you don't have to roll for Vicaret. I already have that noted for Vicaret.
Oh, okay.
NPCs, even if they're your PC, I count them as an NPC of the crew. I roll that ahead of time. Just to save for time, because otherwise that would just screw us over when you see it like 1,000 named NPCs. And I'm going to be like, nope, alright, we're not doing this today.
11.
Natural magic that I have, spellcraft, let me roll. Yeah, sure, I'll take it. 11 for Azurus, okay. 25, nice, for May. Okay, and Floor Snap at 25. You would recognize this as a 9th level spell of Clear Skies. What you recognize this as a customized druid spell from some sort of artifact leveled item. Recognizing the surge of magic has to be something quite powerful. As you sense something from the center of the ship explode off into the sky and recognize this spell, all it is it as long as the weather effect is not currently hostile towards you, specifically hostile, any weather effects are immediately cleared and the skies become clear once more. Weather returns to what would be expected.
Oh.
So, like temperatures and such.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. It's a very upbeat, high-ranked spell. As you recognize this does not match any of the modern-day spells that you would know of amongst the druidic arts that would be mostly that high, or cleric arts.
Oh, impressive.
As you hear again in a few moments, the sending once more pop off as, again in Orin, you hear in your head, Captain Azurus, "Now, may we speak on the loot you will be paying me?"
Yes. Let us take stock of what we have gathered and we can have that conversation.
As you hear, as you shout this out over the wind or the light winds and the calm seas, the ship seems to of the crying lass begins to lower itself into the water. Floor Snap suddenly casting sending somehow into Xerxes' head to not give up his squiddy snacks. As Xerxes taking this as a confirmation that doesn't seem like they're going to be hostile towards you, and you have a moment, you look on. It seems you can as you turn to return to your ship.
Yeah. However, I'm definitely going to be staying on the King Mercy for a bit, since that's where all the loot is right now.
Yeah. As wave scales will start to bring loot aboard, you're about to see why there's a bit of an issue. So I may have crit earlier on a roll. It is really good for you lot. But going to be... Oh, well, that's a text document here. Let me not create a text document. Long loot list. Give me a sec.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, these weren't like when I. That's why I specified at the very beginning that these ships were on their way back from something. So here's firstly the gemstones and the coin, and then here are the items from the crew and the goods, and this is for the like what you find in the captain's quarters and everywhere else. So that's for the wing brightness that will be given to you, or will slowly be brought on board by the wave scales crew. For the King's Mercy, what you find down below. Yes, there is more. Don't worry. There's a third list because, like I said, I crit earlier, and I stand by my words. So, for goods, oh my god. You can tell I had to really work at sorting this earlier.
Oh yeah, I this was gonna have to sort through all this. I'm gonna have this. Could this be like an in-between session thing?
Yeah, don't worry. We're almost all right there. I have to cut the goods in half on the King's Mercy as you look at this.
Oh boy.
There's the magic item of what you find. And then lastly, why you're kind of might want to concern yourself with not going to the Crying Lass. So I crit when I was searching around for stuff as wave scales, and he kind of looted their stuff.
Oh.
And so I'll put a little note at the top of this. The Crying Lass Pirates. There you go. So you kind of see why... You might be in a little bit of what?
Okay. Gotcha. So this box of text is Crying Lass.
Yep. The one above it was all the King's Mercy, and the first one is all from the Wing's Brightness of what they were able to gather.
Gotcha. So
not counting the ships, of course.
Gotcha. So I will
take your time and begin to start categorizing this as the party kind of takes a bit of time. Begins to rest, begins to gather themselves and going through the loot as Wave Scales kind of pulls this stuff on the board. The party feels their bodies growing stronger, themselves gaining in power, their notoriety gaining, as in the distance a single frost giant manages to escape towards the shore. And that's where we're going to end session, with the party beginning to get themselves set up, organizing their loot, and preparing for the next session. However, before we leave, Wara, I need a will save. Because I haven't forgotten. Oh, Wara stepped away. Damn it!
Wild.
I know, right? The one time we need him here. Oh no, Wara comes to kill me in the night, right? Alright. Well, because Wara is not here for the moment, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break to let the party members who need to take, or want to step away, to let them step away real quick, and who give us a minute for him to come back. We thank you all. We'll see you in a minute. We return back as we have Wara returning. Wara, please give me a will save as Captain Azuris kind of begins looking through the valuables. Wave Scales kind of unloading it. May enjoying a bit of the Kraken stew that's being cooked down from down below. Floor Snap already down there with his steak or his Kraken steak. 28. As Wara stands behind you, Azurus, kind of watching the loot and helping pull things off the ship with Wavescales' crew, you watch as Wara just suddenly goes unconscious. Wara, as you find yourself kind of holding this chest made of solid gold, a beautiful ornate piece with some emblazoned dragons and giants fighting each other. As you step on to the King's Mercy, kind of looking at the captain as you begin to help haul this thing towards the doorway to head it down below and put it into the lower decks, find yourself suddenly looking at the sky. Wasn't in front of you a moment ago, but suddenly you find yourself on your back, and then your eyes heavy as you go unconscious and look on. As you look on, you see a strange figure, a red cat kind of sitting there. A little house tabby with a darkened red stripes and a light red fur looking at you. As you find yourself now sitting in a dark room with only two single lights, the one highlighting the cat and one highlighting you. Almost as if you're under a spotlight. The cat kind of looks at you, turns its head curiously, as the darkness around you opens up and you see a stage that you're sitting on, a audience of what looks to be strange figures of different designs, but none of them seem to kind of stick or root in your head, as if every time you look at one, their imagery vanishes just moments later. And as you see this, the cat smiles at you and you hear the voice go, "You wanted redemption? Redeem the world. Kill what kills the world. Remember what you see, for the M is coming for all." And the cat is going to come out of the bag. As the cat's head falls off, and it seems that just a simple slab of red meat seems to lay there as the cat head rolls to the side, the eyes looking up at you in a strange and almost hollow fashion, as it continues to speak and goes, "The Morans are coming. You could stop them. You could save them all. Your soul redeemed and will be given back to its righteous place. Or fail and be my puppet like you're supposed to be. My little string is coming for you, remember. Once the clock strikes the ice and the world begins to freeze, you will have failed your mission. Remember this." And the creature fades away as you look on in surprise and shock as you stare up at the sky, seeing Azurus kind of lightly tapping your cheek, trying to kind of bring you back to consciousness. More in M-O, here, I'll spell it specifically. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I got you. Because
Like
moron would definitely bring a very different context to the redemption. Yeah, just kill all the stupid people. You'll be fine. As you kind of look up at Azurus as he looks down at you, a look of surprise in his eyes, Azurus, on the top of Wara's head, you can see a strange little leather strap that kind of wraps around his head, almost like a crown or a bandana. And now the words, a large M in the shape of kind of almost a cursive-like design that seems to slightly burn into it. A light smoke it kind of erupts from it, and the smell of burning flesh as Wara's pact becomes full.
That can't be good.
As Azurus looks down at Wara, and we cut to black. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one.